In sports, if you want to be the best, there are no off days.
Welcome into the No Off Days podcast. I'm Scott Smith. I got Chris Cato alongside. We got BK in the booth. We'll catch up with him momentarily. I see that you're sporting a T-shirt from the great city of Columbia, Missouri today.
Yes, you know, Scott, I always try to wear a T-shirt that will allow us to talk about my plans for the future.
Well, what do you think I'm leading into? You got a big game this week.
Bama's on the road playing undefeated Missouri. I'm going to the game. One of my best friends.
But you're representing Columbia.
I'm representing beer.
Okay,
This
all
is
right.
Logboat Brewing in Columbia, great brewery. I've been to Columbia a couple of times for football purposes. Great college town. Middle of October, you get the leaves
It's a
changing.
great college town?
It is a great college
I know
town.
they have a great journalism school.
They do, which I did not graduate from.
No.
But yeah, I'm nervous about this game. I mean, Missouri looks good. Bama's been susceptible to the run. Missouri's leading the SEC in rushing right now. I don't know.
All right, take us through your pregame ritual there. What's the tailgate looking like?
Well, unfortunately, it's an 11 a.m. Central kick, so the tailgate is going to be pared down quite a bit.
Yeah,
But
little bacon and eggs.
My friend Jared, who's hosting, does an amazing smoked butt, and so get the ribs and the butt going the night before.
Jared has an amazing smoked butt.
He does.
Okay.
It's delectable, juicy, and he starts all this prep, the day before, so that it's ready to go for the spread Saturday morning. But that's going to be a wake and get some food in you, get some liquid courage, and go into the stadium.
He's a tiger, right?
He's a tiger, yeah.
Okay, so are you going to be sitting amongst other tigers? Or are you
I hope
the
so.
Bama section,
I'm going to show them how polite and kind Alabama fans are.
Okay,
some
that'd be
Southeastern hospitality in the Midwest.
Have you been to any other college football games this season?
Not this season,
okay,
no.
So this is number one.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. We have a game scheduled that we're going to go out to Oregon and catch the Oregon-Minnesota game. That's coming up next month. So I'm surprising my kids who don't listen to this podcast, but I'm going to take them out there with me.
They get to experience Autzen Stadium.
I
That's
wanted
nice.
to pick a game that I thought the Ducks would definitely have a chance to win. Now the goal is, can they go into that game undefeated? So we'll find out this week because they got Indiana coming to Eugene. That'll be a big one. Let's bring BK in. BK, I know that you are fresh off a big college football game that you were in attendance up in Gainesville last
Went up to Gainesville, watched the Gators beat Texas.
Holy moly.
Did you see that coming?
I kind of did, actually. I kind of did. It's that I know Texas had a bye week, but Florida, if they didn't show up or if they didn't change things heading into this week, then, man, you'd really have to let go of the staff then. But they made some changes, and, in Dallas Wilson, holy cow. They got a deep threat now.
Yeah, they sure do. And let's all remember our bold preseason predictions. I told you guys Florida would beat Texas.
Did you?
I did.
Okay. I'll have to go back.
Cato. I hear you.
I don't know, but I also didn't see Florida looking like they did going into that game in the preseason. But, good for the Gators.
Speaking of butt, did you get any smoked pork butt in Gainesville?
I did not. That was strictly a work trip there.
Okay. Yeah. That's right. You went with our very own Mark Skoll Jr.
Mark Skoll Jr. went up there, too. Yeah. So, it was a great atmosphere, man.
Mark's a Texas fan.
He was. He was struggling.
Our own Paul Delgado was at that game. He said it was one of the loudest games that he's ever seen. It was insane.
That place gets loud. It does.
Yeah, it was rocking. I don't know. Hopefully that means Florida's turning the corner. Maybe we'll get into that momentarily. BK, what do we have on today's big show?
Oh, we got a great show tonight and 2 repeat guests. How about that? I don't think we've ever done that before.
In the same show.
Same show. First up, Kevin Kiermaier, the Outlaw, is joining us.
He's a coach. Coach Kiermaier to you.
World Series champion, too. How about that?
Man.
Yeah, he's got a ring with him.
He might be in line for another one. I don't know. He's on staff with the Blue Jays, or has been helping out this year a little bit here and there. So I do wonder if he could get a Blue Jays ring if they end up winning the whole thing.
How about that? Man. 2-time World Series champion.
Oh yeah, because he's got the Dodgers.
He's got Dodgers. Yeah.
Wow.
From last year. And then we'll talk a little college football with our friend Brett McMurphy.
All right.
Joining on there. He'll bring his. He's with On3’s Sports, and he's our insider.
Yeah. We'll find out if Ty Simpson has turned it around and if he's ready to hold the Heisman Trophy by season's end.
I hope so.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I thought you guys would say that in unison. All right. Thank you, BK. Oh, and the end of the show.
Cannot forget, end of the show, a new game. Hope you guys like it. So quiz you on football helmets. I'll just say that.
Okay.
Do we have a name for this game?
It's called Flipping Your Lid.
I like it.
He came prepared.
He did.
Yeah, Flipping Your Lid. So,
I thought he was going to say no, but by the end of the show, I'll have a name for it. But no, he's ready.
There we go.
It may work out. I don't know.
All right, BK.
Thanks, guys.
Sounds good. All right, if you're listening and you want to watch, go to fox13news.com/NODPOD. If you're watching and want to listen or subscribe, you can take your phone, zap that QR code on the screen, and head to our show page. Feel free to leave a comment on our YouTube channel as well, and a 5-star on iTunes. Please subscribe at fox13news.com/NODPOD. All right, so we're going to do a little buy or sell. Are you ready for this?
No, you had told me to prepare for something else.
Yeah, well, unprepared is how we like to go about these shows.
All right, let's go.
All right,
How does it work?
We're going to stick in the football world, but we'll do a little NFL and college. Do you want me to intermix them, or would you like to go NFL together and then go college?
Just randomize me. Just randomly throw them out. Yeah.
We'll randomize it. All right, buy or sell. These are definitive statements that I'm making, and you can either buy or sell them. Baker Mayfield has the inside track on the NFL MVP award this year. Baker Mayfield.
Buy high. Yeah, I mean, over 1,200 yards passing, 10 touchdowns, 1 interception using his legs, and he's got that clutch factor. So if the Bucs do become a playoff team, which it looks like they will, it's all about what the team does. That's who usually the MVP, how they choose that, right? It's how successful your team is. And
that helps.
Yeah, so I'm going to buy.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at the other potential candidates, and again, we're just, about a third of the way through the season, so we still have a long way to go. But it's hard to argue with. It's not just the numbers for Baker, although those are impressive with 10 touchdowns, 1 interception. He's been efficient. It's what he's been doing late in these games. I mean, if you can be the guy that drags your team across the finish line each and every week, and it seems, I know that he has teammates, but it seems like there's an element to Baker that just wills his team to victory, and that to me is what an MVP is all about. Mm-hmm. So the most valuable player, yeah, I think at this point, 5 games in, it's Baker Mayfield. Can he keep it going? I mean, Stafford's got great numbers this year. Jared Goff's got great numbers. You have Jonathan Taylor's having a resurgent year with the Indianapolis Colts, but for my money, it's Baker right now. All right, claim 2. Miami, this is college football. Miami is the best team in the country. Miami is the best team in the country. I know the AP might disagree, but what do you think?
Right now, snapshot, based on everything we have, yes, best resume. I mean, you got quality wins over Notre Dame, Florida State, and USF, and they won those 3 over the Florida schools in convincing fashion, beat Notre Dame. So, yes, right now they should be the number 1 team in the country.
Yeah, I tend to agree, and part of that has to do with I don't know that I would have said that last week.
Right.
But when I saw Carson Beck's performance against Florida State, I felt like, okay, it seems like he's taking his game to another level. Defensively, this team has been locked down. I mean, their pass rush is just that is elite. Ruben Bain and company, and I just think that they're phenomenal defensively, which is quite the script being flipped from last year where it was the offense is just carrying them. This year, It kind of felt like defense was carrying them. But they're making big plays offensively, and, man, so I would tend to agree. I have not watched enough Ohio State. I know they're kind of like the returning national champs that they're expected to do this much. But who has Ohio State played this year?
Well, the win over Texas to open the season, but that looks less impressive now, right?
Yeah.
And then they've kind of played lower competition. They just beat Minnesota in convincing fashion. But who is Minnesota? I guess we'll find out more, but yeah, right now, Miami clearly has the better resume. Back
to the NFL. The 1-4 Ravens are not making the playoffs.
Ooh, sell. It's just something tells me they're still going to find a way to get it done in that division. In fact, if you look at a lot of the Vegas odds makers still have the Ravens as the favorite to win that division with the Steelers right behind them there. Let me get to my standings here. Yeah, and so it really comes down, can they get more? They have 1 win right now. What do you need to get to the playoffs? Well, win your division. What will you need for that? You need 9 wins at least, you would think. Can they get 8 more? I look at their schedule here, and I think they're about to lose to the Rams. At this time, Lamar is still uncertain for the game, but I can find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can find 7 here.
I think you can find 8
I can find. It's going to depend what you do in those 2 games against the Steelers, because the Bengals awful. Browns shaky,
and part of that is, can the rest of that division kind of level out as well?
Yeah.
With the Steelers sitting right now top 3-1. The Bengals are obviously a team that is flailing. The Browns, no bueno, right? So right. I do think that they certainly have a chance to go ahead and win this division. They still have plenty of within division games where they can, you could get a 9-win team It could be didn't the Bucs win it 8-9 a couple of years ago?
They did. Yeah.
You could see something like that, I think, in the AFC North this year. They were listless last week against the Texans, but they have played a real tough group of teams out of the gates. Once they get Lamar back and that hamstring's feeling good, I think that you have a Ravens team that's probably going to make the playoffs. All right, claim number 4. The Florida Gators have turned the corner, and Billy Napier will not be fired this season.
Buy.
You're buying.
Yeah, I'm buying. Maybe that's.
It's kind of there was 2 claims in there. I don't know if you want both of them, but it's a package deal. They've turned the corner.
If they turn the corner, he won't be fired. I agree with that. I think that is a package deal.
Okay.
And I think they have turned the corner. Now again, Texas. Maybe they're not as good as we thought. I still think Texas's defense is really good, and DJ Lagway finally showed what he can do, and having Dallas Wilson there,
was a big,
I think that's huge.
A big part of it.
And Florida's defense can play with anyone in the country.
Yes.
So yes, now are they going to lose more games? Yeah, they've got Texas A&M coming up this weekend on the road.Maybe a loss there. Mississippi State, Georgia. I think they could beat Georgia. Kentucky, that's a win. Ole Miss is going to be tough. Tennessee, that could go either way, and then you close with Florida State. But I think they've turned the corner.
I think just from a confidence standpoint, to beat a team like that and to get the juice from your home crowd in that game, I do feel like that's one of the things that this team was missing was just confidence. And for as nebulous as that is, I do think they gained some of that this last weekend. So, yeah, I do think that they've turned the corner, and I don't expect Billy Napier to be fired this season. So we'll just keep it in college football since you mentioned the team. The Texas Longhorns, they have 2 losses through 5 games. They still have OU, Vandy. Didn't think I uttered that sentence a couple years ago. OU, Vandy, Georgia, and A&M on the schedule. The Longhorns will finish with 4 or more losses this season.
4 or more losses. Okay, let me glance at the schedule. I think they're losing to Oklahoma even if Napier doesn't play.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, Oklahoma's defense is really good. Kentucky, they're going to beat. Mississippi State's going to be tough, but I'll give them a win there. Maybe they lose to Vandy.
Then you got Georgia and A&M.
And Georgia, Kirby always out coaches Sark. Yeah, I will buy that they're going to lose 4 games this season.
Yeah,
I'll buy it.
So too.
Yeah,
I might tag them with
unless
5,
Arch
actually.
just has some kind of awakening, but
it could happen. But yeah, there's some things offensively that they need squared away. All right, to the NFL. AFC West is going to come down to the Broncos or the Chargers. The team I'm leaving out, of course, would be the Kansas City Chiefs. Is it the Broncos and Chargers division to win this year?
buy.
You're buying.
Yeah, and this is something that was talked about preseason was the Chiefs, what they had last year, and yes, they made it all the way to the Super Bowl, but had so many one-score, one-possession wins, and you kind of felt like it might go the other way this year. And so far, you can never really count Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid out, but I think both the Broncos and the Chargers are playing at a higher level now, so I will buy that.
The Chargers sliding the last couple of weeks, but I do like the Broncos, and if I could just pat myself on the back, I did pick them to win the division back on episode 134, and I said they would finish with a 12-5 record, so I think I'm going to hold with that. I like what Bo Nix is doing.
Yeah.
All right, back to college football. Texas Tech is your runaway Big 12 champ. Texas Tech, I think currently 8th in the country, if my memory serves me right.
Somewhere in there.
They've dominated every team that they've played, but they really have not played anybody of repute.
They are currently 9th in the country.
9th?
Haven't played it. Well, did they not beat Utah on the road?
Okay.
I believe they did.
There you go.
And that was my preseason pick, and I still think Utah's going to factor in here. I still think they've got a good squad. So, no, I'm not ready to buy that they're the runaway winner, that Texas Tech is the runaway Big 12 winner, because BYU is still out there, and they've got a really solid team. So even though I'll tell you, Texas Tech's defense may be the best in the country, and it looks like they've got not 1 but 2 quarterbacks that can play, but that's just such a wild conference. I'm not ready to say that they're running away with it.
Yeah, I do think that they are going to end up running away with this one, and I did pick Iowa State at the beginning of the season, and part of it was it was just such a muddled conference.
Yeah.
A lot of teams that could have won it could have stepped out, but at this point, man, I think that Texas Tech is clearly the best team in the conference. All right, back to the NFL. Another one of my preseason predictions. You can see this segment was handcrafted by yours truly. That Daniel Jones will be this year's Sam Darnold. That is a true statement.
Yeah, you have already. I mean, I cannot do anything but buy that. I mean, that you were absolutely right about that.
Thank you. I just wanted to hear.
Yeah.
We can move on after that. I just wanted to hear you say that. All right, final college football buy or sell. USF will be your G5 playoff team.
For the hometown team, I'll say yes. I'm going to buy this. And I was so close when we did our preseason predictions to putting USF instead of who was my group of Memphis, I believe.
Was it?
Was it Memphis? I believe it was Memphis. And I think that could be the one obstacle to USF doing this is Memphis is in their division in their conference in the American. Memphis is playing good ball, but USF has a better resume at this point.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it will be interesting once they get kind of challenged against some of these better teams within the conference.
No, dang it. I said Tulane.
Oh, you did.
But Tulane's still in the mix too.
All right.
But I'm going to put USF in there.
We're riding USF. I'm going to buy that as well. My last buy or sell for the NFL, the Eagles may be 4-1, but they're not as good as their record may indicate.
And their record is
4-1.
Sell. I will sell only because I saw what they did. The Buccaneers are a really good team, and I saw what they did to the Bucs on the road a couple of weeks ago. That Eagles team is good. Yes, last year Super Bowl run, they had these periods where their offense fell off and looked unproductive and unexplosive, and A.J. Brown wasn't getting the ball, and other playmakers aren't getting the ball, and they came out of that, and they won a Super Bowl. So, no, I'm not buying that one.
Okay. I am buying it because I don't think the Eagles are as good as their record may indicate. I think that there are some deficiencies in this team. I don't think they play a full 60-minute football game. That game against the Bucs, I think the Bucs probably should have won, honestly. I thought the Bucs for a majority of that game were
the Eagles.
I thought the Bucs
had
were
their
the
foot
better
on their necks and let them up at the end.
Okay, but that's a problem, right? They lit up clearly way too early. The Bucs gave them the ball how many times? I mean, they turned it over on downs twice. They had a block punt that was returned for a touchdown, and then the Bucs also fumbled and threw an interception.
You can't say the Bucs gave them a block punt. The Eagles took they took the ball from them on the block punt.
Sure, they did, but
I mean that's
at the
how
same
football
time,
goes. Like
yeah,
some of
but
these are
I just feel like
plays.
some of those turnovers were pretty fluky. Like the throw that Baker Mayfield makes in the end zone is, I mean, that's his only interception of the season. It was an awful throw. Should have never made it. The Bucky fumble, everybody can take issue with that. Was that actually a fumble or not? Am I thinking about the right game? Maybe. Is that the Jets? I don't know. Either way, you turn the ball over 3 times.
Your point is you don't think the Eagles are as good as their record.
Correct. All right. Okay. Coming up on the other side, it is time to chat with our good friend, now a FOD, friend of the show, Coach Kiermaier is joining us next on the No Off Days podcast. Welcome back to the No Off Days podcast. A few weeks back, the Toronto Blue Jays were in town visiting your Rays, and I see in the broadcast that who is in the Blue Jays dugout, but Kevin Kiermaier sitting there, and he was a coach. So, and I figured now that those Blue Jays are red hot in the postseason and they could be in line for the AL pennant, now seems as good a time as any to catch up with KK to figure out what he's been doing and why he's hanging out with the Blue Jays all of a sudden. Here's our interview.
So I wanted to kind of get an idea of what you're up to these days, because we did see you in the Blue Jays dugout, and curious like what you're doing. Are you still doing are you a special assistant with the Blue Jays? What does that entail and require of you?
Yeah, that's like the title is special assistant, and but outfield specialist. So I wasn't like a normal special assistant, but that is like the title. I said I didn't care, but it was pretty much where I said, hey, can I be around and yet still feel retired in a way where it's like, please allow me to do what I want to do and just like view me as a bonus whenever I show up. So what came along with that was I had to do 3 to 4 days of spring training the whole time, and just kind of picked my days, and we figured out a schedule. I enjoy having a uniform on, and it was the best thing for me to like ease into retirement my first year, just to be around the field still, because I would have went crazy if I didn't have that in my life at all. And but it was perfect, man.
I heard your title was outfield whisperer. Is that
outfield whisperer? Yeah, that's I definitely prescribed that to myself. So outfield whisperer specialist, whatever you want to call it. But I learned a lot from it. And I feel like I figured I was going to love it, and I did. And it's something that I want to do for a long time.
Well, my 12U fall league chimichangas could probably use a defensive specialist.
Yeah.
So you're watching these playoffs take place, and you got your last two teams that look like they might be meeting in the World Series. I mean, is that kind of your rooting interest to see those two teams clash in the World Series?
Yeah, 100%. I love all the teams that are in it. So it's a playoffs that I've already been invested before it happened. Like all the best teams were there pretty much, and may the best team win. But go Blue Jays, and it'd be fun to watch the Dodgers as well.
When was the last time you wore your World Series ring?
The other day, actually, I did a podcast with my buddy, and I had to show it off. And it's fun, man. That thing is beautiful.
Not an everyday thing.
No, I'm not that guy.
I got to get your thoughts on Ray's ownership change. Obviously, this just went down this last week, but it seems like a group that's committed to keeping it here. That's what at least baseball has kind of set out there. I guess we're going to hear from them from the media side tomorrow. But what do you think about how it all went down and what it means for the future of baseball here in Tampa Bay?
Yeah, it's I think a change is good sometimes, and Stu, what he did along with everyone else, they gave it a heck of a run, and I was a part of so many of those teams, and it was such a blast. But with all the things that have happened the last couple of years, it's just like, man, they're trying to, there's just so many plans and whatever, and certain things fell through and whatnot. But I think everyone around here, as long as there's baseball in the area, I think people are going to be happy. And I know, still so many people saying, is it coming to Tampa? Is it staying in St. Pete? Who knows? But as long as Rays fans and people around this area, the great baseball fans that are here, can have a team to root for, I think that is, the most important thing. But in all the other things that fall into place after that, there's a lot of important people that have to make very important decisions and get everything into place. But Ray's always near and dear to my heart. It's the team that gave me my life and everything. So I hope, whatever they choose to do, it's just to win games and put, the organization on the map, where it's like, hey, this is how we're going to do things from here on out, and just get everybody excited. And you're going to be in the AL East, so you're going to have to compete with some really good teams for years to come. So it'll be very interesting how they move forward, but very exciting as well.
Reading between the lines, increase the payroll. Is that what, if they came and asked you?
Yeah. Definitely you would. Once again, we contradict that, because we were top 5 lowest payroll my whole career there, but had some of the best teams in baseball. So you can win with a certain recipe, but certainly to compete with some of these other teams and some teams just not really caring what they got to pay guys. It's like, hey, we're doing this to try to win games, win World Series, and have a lot of wins here. And I hope they're just on the same page with that. And yeah, maybe a little bump in the
well, we've seen the other side of that. You could open up the wallet, and a certain team that will remain nameless still didn't make the playoffs this year despite spending big.
Correct.
So you still gotta find Correct.
The right. Correct. But if they can have a little bit of room to grow there, where they can go get some premier guys every now and then, I think that's always exciting as well. So once again, there's going to be some important people over there in the Rays that got to make some important decisions and figure out how they want to navigate with this new chapter. But once again, very exciting to see what's going to come of it. And I think everybody in this whole region is excited to hear what plan will be set in place, and hopefully for years to come.
All right. Before we let you go, I know your 10-month-old daughter is napping. The boys are going to be home from school here probably soon. What's your role then? What do you do? How are you going to attack? Is this a zone defense, you and your wife?
We're zone defense. We're outnumbered, but I tell everybody it's chaotic, it's hectic, but it's nothing we can't handle. And they're at such a fun age right now where they definitely keep us on our toes and keep things interesting at the house always. But they're great kids and do great at school, and they mean well. So I'm a proud parent, and I got a lot to learn as well. So with where my career is going to go post playing and just being a dad for the rest of forever. I got my hands full, but I just like staying busy and occupied in a variety of many different ways. So life is good.
You're in the sweet spot, man. Enjoy it and keep us updated on whatever that next change is in career-wise and family-wise and all that. But it's always great to catch up, KK.
Yeah, thanks, Scott. Thanks for having me, my man.
So I did ask about the Dodgers ring, but I didn't ask if he was going to be able to get a Blue Jays ring should they win the World Series this year. I hope that's coming his way.
Feels like he could. I mean,
another one for the other hand, or one for the pinky. You know what I mean? Anyway, coming up on the other side, it's time to talk a little college football. We have Brett McMurphy from On3, get his take on some of the big storylines going on in college football as we speak. That's next on the NODPOD. So many college football questions to get to this week, Chris, and we're getting some primetime matchups, some big ones. We got Indiana and Oregon, we got Alabama and Mizzou. I mean, we got some big time clashes.
Don't forget the Red River rivalry.
We got Oklahoma and Texas. Is Texas, are they actually for real, or are we seeing a team that's fading fast? For more on that, let's jump into our interview this week with On3's Brett McMurphy.
Well, we are joined by College Football Insider with On3, Brett McMurphy with us today. And Brett, you just came out with a story that on what's required of Billy Napier in order to keep his job at Florida, and the word miracle is used. So you got 5 of their last 7 opponents are against teams that are currently in the AP Top 25. In light of the win against Texas, do you see this team as now a team maybe capable of pulling off that miracle?
Scott, I think that's probably what's most frustrating for Florida fans is they see the potential of these teams, but then they don't deliver. You know, Billy's in his 4th year at Florida. He's 21-22 overall. He's never been more than 2 games over 500 in his career at Florida, which has been pretty frustrating. You mentioned the 5 ranked opponents down the stretch. There is the opportunity there to stack up some quality wins to basically save his job, but I'm told he needs to win at least 8 games. They're currently 2-3, so that's a 6-1 finish. Can that happen? Sure. Is it likely? Probably not. The biggest issue is, you look at the history of Florida. It's past 75 years. Napier is the 12th head coach Florida's had. He's the only one that has not finished one season in his career ranked in the AP Top 25. That's not a good sign. The people that I've talked to in Gainesville say that, while Billy is basically doing everything right, and I quoted somebody in my story today, he does everything right between Sunday and Friday, but Saturdays are just nightmares sometimes. And that's the inability to have 11 men on the field a lot of the times. Last year he was urged to get a offensive coordinator for this year, something that supposedly he had agreed to. He never did that. He has had some big wins, but they've all been in Gainesville. 5-2 in Gainesville against ranked opponents, on the road against ranked opponents, away from Gainesville, 0-13. They go to number 5 Texas A&M Saturday. If it's another blowout loss, I think it's whatever good he built up with the Texas win, the analogy I used, it's like just popping the balloon. All the air comes out again. So, but if they can win at A&M, then maybe there is something they're building. But again, you look at the past 4 years, pretty much every positive has followed up with the pratfall, if you will. And I've been told the big money people are basically, they're over him. They're done with it. They're just waiting to move on. When that happens exactly, who knows? But again, barring an Al Michaels, do you believe in miracles finish here down the stretch, Billy won't be back in 2026.
Wow. All right. Speaking of the team that they just topped in the swamp, I looked at your latest bowl projections, and we got Texas in the Cheez-It Bowl. Not sure that was what they thought when they went into this season. The great Arch hype has kind of drifted back down to lower orbit here. Is Arch a cautionary tale, or is he a guy that you think can still regain his luster?
Look, I mean, it's unfair, the expectations that were put on him. And I want to be clear. Arch was not out promoting himself. He's not on TikTok. He's not doing all this stuff saying, look at me, look at me. Because of his name, because, he's at the University of Texas. That was put on him by other people. It was unfair. It was unreasonable. That's why before this season, I said, Texas will not win the national title and Arch Manning will not win the Heisman Trophy. It's not that I didn't think they couldn't or they shouldn't. It's just there was no way they would ever meet these expectations. And once you have all those expectations, all anyone wants to do is tear you down, knock you down. Now, Arch has not played well at all. Texas has not played well at all. They're not in my top 25 ballot this week. You mentioned I've got them in the Cheez-It Bowl this week. That's because of name only, or I would drop them lower. Hey, maybe Tampa, maybe they'll be in the Gasparilla Bowl. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, look, they can still get to the SEC title game. They've got to run the table. This is a huge game Saturday in Dallas against Oklahoma. But yeah, here we are with the loss. Texas, the preseason #1, would be 3-3 after 6 games. I don't think, even with the overhyped expectations, no one would have believed that, but they are about to join rare history here, and Lane Kiffin will gladly move over and let them join him. Kiffin is the only coach that started the season ranked #1 in the preseason AP poll that finished the year unranked when he was at USC, and certainly Texas could become the next if they don't start winning down the stretch.
So what most people are focused in on is obviously playoff projections, and you also issue your latest update on that. And I noticed just your group of 5 team, it's a different team out of the American Conference than many of us here in Tampa think it's going to be in USF. Why do you have Memphis over USF?
Yeah, I just have Memphis. I mean, right. I hate when people say honestly, because that means, okay, you're not being honest the rest of the time. But honestly, if I could, I would just put American Conference champ for that spot. It's not that I like Memphis over USF. It's not that I like USF over Tulane. It's not that I like Tulane over Navy. It's just Memphis has the most recent quality win. They won, they beat Arkansas. They are undefeated still. So I just have them there. It's take it with a grain of salt. I'm sure USF people want to see the USF name up there. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Boise State is basically out of the running. Really, the only other group of 5 conference that has a chance is Old Dominion has quietly put together a really good season. If they're currently 4-1, if they go 12-1, they have a win over Virginia Tech. They only lost at Indiana by 13. They could get up into the mix, but they would have to run the table. I don't think that's likely. I think basically it's going to be the American champion, whether it's USF, Memphis, Tulane, Navy, heck, North Texas, Friday night. North Texas is undefeated. Nobody's talking about them. So that's not necessarily that I believe Memphis is the team. It's just because my editors won't let me put American Conference champ in that spot.
Well, I know somebody that would probably agree with you that these early projections probably don't matter, and that would be Alex Golesh himself, head coach of the Bulls. All right, I want to get your thoughts on the second iteration of Scott Frost at UCF. Do you feel like it's going in the right direction? I know they've kind of struggled with keeping quarterbacks and keeping them healthy and kind of rotating those guys through. What do you think of his second run so far?
Yeah, well, he's lost more games, right? He's not undefeated. The loss against Kansas Saturday was a tough loss. They got down to the goal line to tie it, potentially send it into overtime, and couldn't punch it in. I mean, really, I don't know yet because they're 3-2 and their wins: Jacksonville State, North Carolina A&T, and North Carolina. That North Carolina win was dominating, but right. Who hasn't dominated North Carolina this year? They've looked awful under Bill Belichick. So now they're getting into the teeth of the Big 12 schedule. They go from Kansas State, who's very good, but has been disappointing. They played Kansas, which has one of the best offenses in the Big 12. Now they go at Cincinnati, which is probably the hottest team in the Big 12. They are coming off a win against Iowa State. I think it's going to take some time. I don't think year one you're going to see a magical double-digit win season at UCF. I think a more realistic goal is to get to 6 wins, get to a bowl game, and then build from there. But it's going to take some time. But you can see some similarities from what Frost did offensively his first time in Orlando compared with now. I just think it's going to take a little bit for UCF to get up where they can contend in the Big 12.
I'd like to ask you about your alma mater. Some news this year. I have been on record on this podcast of being a Mike Gundy defender, but 2 years ago they won 10 games, and I realized the last season and a half have been dreadful in Stillwater. But is the narrative has been he's been a coach that's been unwilling or unable to adapt to the new state of college football. Is that your read on this, or do you think that there's something else involved here?
I don't know if unable to adapt. I think maybe slow to adapt. And another thing is, look, he got blasted before they played Oregon, and then the Cowboys got blasted as well. But he got blasted in the media because he said, look, we don't have the money that Oregon has. They've got more money. So sure, they should be better than us, paraphrasing him, which, that's accurate, whether people like it or not. And so in today's, in college football environment, if you don't have the money, yeah, you can pull off an upset on Saturday, but the other 364 days a year, you're at a huge disadvantage trying to compete against those programs. So, like a lot of schools, Oklahoma State had to take a lot of transfers. And when you don't pay as much as other schools, the quality isn't as great as some of these other schools. You're not going to sign the same kids that are going to Ohio State, that are going to Oregon, that are going to Texas, et cetera. And so, when you're taking in transfers from the Mid-American, when you're adding Division II guys, I mean, you may find a, diamond in the rough, if you will, but, for the most part, you're going to end up looking like Oklahoma State looks like. And certainly they have fallen off a cliff. Whether it was the right time to fire Mike or not, people can debate that. I think it was pretty obvious that this would be the final season. Whether they should have done that in season or not, who knows? You appease the fan base, I guess. But I hated to see it happen. I mean, the guy's been alive for 58 years, and 33 of his 58 years, he's been either a player, an assistant coach, or head coach at Oklahoma State. So he is Oklahoma State. One day they'll name the field after him, probably throw a statue up several years down the road. But it's unfortunate. It's just the way college football is. What have you done for me lately? And Oklahoma State had some tremendous teams the past few years under Gundy, but the past couple of years, they sunk to the bottom really, really fast.
SEC currently have 9 teams in the AP top 20 and 4 undefeated. So I'm not sure that it doesn't come down to a strength of schedule here in the first part of the season, but you got Ole Miss, A&M, Mizzou, and Oklahoma are your undefeated teams. So maybe some schedule is tougher than others. But what do you think, regardless of whatever their record is to this point, is the most balanced or dangerous team coming out of the SEC?
Let me get a hat and I'll draw a name. I'll draw a name out. I think it's funny. If you would ask me this question, say back the first week of September, I would have had 7 guesses and not picked this team. But I think it may be Alabama. Whatever happened at Florida State happened. And look, Florida State's better than a lot of people thought they would be going into the season. But since that Florida State game, Alabama has been very dominating. They've looked like the team a lot of people thought they would look like. Ty Simpson has looked really good at quarterback. They've got the athletes. They've always had the athletes. They've done a great job recruiting. And for their schedule sets up nicely, which I think will dictate, potentially who can win the SEC. They get Tennessee at home, LSU, Oklahoma at home, And their toughest road games at Missouri this week, at South Carolina, that's basically nothing. Then at Auburn in the finale, the Iron Bowl. So I would probably say Alabama, Scott. But the big thing that I've had to get used to with the new expanded playoff, than say, way back in the old days, like say 2 years ago, is you don't have to win the conference title to one, get to the college football playoff or win the college football playoff. And so right now, you mentioned my bowl projections. I've got 5 SEC teams projected as making the playoff. Now, some of these guys are going to beat up on each other, but I think if you're an SEC team and you get the 10 wins and you reeled off the list of undefeated teams, there's another handful that only have 1 loss right behind them. If you get the 10-2 in the SEC, it's going to be impossible, not impossible, but nearly impossible to keep them out of the college football playoff. So I think Alabama's built the best offensively and defensively, but there's half a dozen teams that could get there. And then once they're there, kind of like Ohio State last year, whoever gets hot, pretty much it's up for grabs for anybody.
Well, that is music to the ears of my co-host and my producer of this podcast, both Bama guys. All right, so I got some games against the spread this week. Got some huge games this week. So we can rapid fire it, but let me lay them out for you. So Bama, obviously 2.5-point favorite at Mizzou.
Wow, this line opened up 5 or 6, and it's down to 2.5. It's too low. I'm going to take Alabama. I know everyone likes Missouri because Alabama's playing sandwich spot off Vanderbilt, off Georgia, and they've got Tennessee next week. But I think Bama's too strong. Missouri hasn't played anybody yet; they're undefeated.
Ohio State 14.5-point favorites in Champaign at Illinois.
It's never smart to lay double digits on the road, but nobody's ever accused me of being smart. I like Ohio State. I think Illinois is overrated is the wrong word, but I think Indiana exposed them. Ohio State quietly has one of the best defenses in the country.
All right, big one out west. Oregon 7.5-point favorites as they host Indiana.
Indiana, when they're not playing the top 5 or top 10 team, is can be charged for assault for how bad they beat some of these teams. Oregon, however, is one of those teams in the top 5. Indiana has not won or covered against teams ranked in the top 10 under Cignetti. I think the streak continues. I think Oregon pulls away from the Hoosiers.
Texas, 1.5-point favorites in the Red River against Oklahoma.
Yeah, no idea if John Napier is going to play. For people trying to figure out, don't worry about watching the pregame warmups. I guarantee you he will be thrust out. I guarantee you he will take pregame snaps, but no one will know until kickoff if he's playing or not. This is a desperate spot for Texas. The history of this series is take the underdog. I think, though, how desperate Texas is, I'm going to go with Texas, even though they are the slight favorite.
A&M 7.5-point favorites hosting Florida.
Yeah, well, I talked about Florida and their struggles on the road. 0-13 on the road against ranked opponents. You're up 1 week, seesaw, you're down the next. I'm going to lay 7.5 with Texas A&M, who, we talked about teams that can win the SEC. I totally blanked on them. Marcel Reed at quarterback. They certainly are a contender. I think Texas A&M wins this game by double digits.
And that's the air out of the balloon that you were referencing earlier, right? So USC 2.5-point favorites hosting Michigan.
This is one of the sneaky good games of the weekend. Michigan's talking trash that the only reason the Coliseum sold out is because USC is playing Michigan. Lincoln Riley, they have one of the best offenses, if not the best offense in the country. With Lincoln Riley. I'm going to take the Trojans as the slight favorite to somehow get it done on the left coast.
All right, my last one. I know we've gone the gauntlet here. Georgia, 3.5-point favorites at Auburn.
Yeah, this is one of those like, okay, why is the line so low? They're begging you to take Georgia.
Right.
I'm not going to fall for it. I'm going to take Auburn, the home dog. Desperate situation. They need it badly. Look, you need every game badly in the SEC, but I think Hugh Freeze gets a huge win at home against the Dogs.
Great stuff. He is at Brett_McMurphy on X, and you can read his fabulous work over at On3.com. Brett, I appreciate your time.
Thanks, Scott.
Always nice to catch up with Brett. Coming up on the other side, it's time to test your knowledge in football helmets.
I think he said football helmets. Yeah.
Okay.
Flip your lid?
We're about
What's
to
the name
flip
of it?
our lid. BK joins us with our fun block. Coming up next. Welcome back to the No Off Days podcast. It is time for our fun block. So with that, let's bring in Brian King. He puts the AI in Brian, and I'm assuming that this game is a AI-infused game. Is it?
Well, just the intro.
Okay.
Just the intro. I mean, I
That's our
come up with a
favorite
game.
part. All right.
Our
Yeah,
favorite thing with your new graphics package that you installed are these great intros that you
This
made.
one is top notch. This one is, well, you wait till you see it. It's going to blow you away. You ready to see it now?
I kind of want to build it up a little bit
Let's
more.
build it up some more.
How many hours a day do you spend playing with AI tools?
Really not that much
Okay.
because I can only do it for 3 tries and then I'm done. So,
Free sample.
yeah. And
Okay.
so this one, you'll see the 3rd try, yeah, you get what you get.
All right. Drum roll, please. Without
can't wait.
further ado,
Here we
intro your
go.
segment.
It is flipping your lid.
Oh,
is
yes.
Nice. How's that?
Oh, man. I love it.
Yeah.
It was nice. Would have been better if Scott and my head collided.
I
If
should
our
have
two-
done that. I was trying to get that.
Those helmets are interlocked now.
Well, they're flipped.
Oh, I see.
Flipping.
Yeah, I see what you
And my big plan was to have like helmets flipping on your heads, back and forth. Flipping your lids. And
Like
stuff.
my helmet jumps onto his head.
something
his
like
flips to
that.
mine?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then Scott's
Your
head,
helmet would never fit on my giant head.
he looked like the Spaceballs guy.
oh,
know,
yeah.
Dark helmet?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I said we can't do that. So I
You
said,
went over my helmet.
Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you pictures of helmets, okay? And these are football helmets. It could be college, pro, but there's nothing really obscure, but it could be like a throwback helmet, okay?
Okay.
And just from the pictures alone, you're going to try to tell me what this team is, okay? So I gave you an easy one to start off with, okay? Just so you can get your feet wet and everything with this. So let's see the first one. Look at that. Do you have any idea what that helmet is?
I have
Well, I have. Oh, you just showed us a little bit more.
Yeah.
It looks
Yeah.
like it's a Buccaneers helmet.
That is it. Simple. So that is
Well,
simple.
it said. I don't know if you caught that, but it said Buccaneers
on the chin strap there.
Yeah.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Well, that's why it was a test one.
I'm going to guess Buccaneers. Okay.
That was a test one. So good job. So that's
right.
all this is, okay?
Okay.
Gotcha.
So simple enough. Let's roll the second one there, Chris. Boom.
Okay.
Oh,
So it looks like maybe a Raiders color. No, that's not Raiders.
Oh, I know. The Bengals.
Um,
It's their alternate.
oh, good call.
Man, Cato, good job, man. That's a cool helmet,
It's a
isn't
cool
it?
helmet,
It's
yeah.
one of my favorite
I don't like
helmets.
it.
You don't like it?
No,
I like that helmet,
it's
man.
too distracting.
Oh, I like
I
that
like
helmet.
simple.
Stormtrooper helmet. That's
Yeah.
what that is.
Let's try number 3.
Joe Flacco's going to be wearing that helmet.
That's.
Boom.
Oh,
I mean, it looks Browns. It looks like the Browns, but that would be too simple. I'm going to say
Syracuse.
Arizona State.
Syracuse.
Arizona State.
Or who? What? You sure?
Syracuse.
Well, it's orange,
Yellow?
right? No,
There
it
we
is
go.
Arizona State.
Well, let's see it. Arizona State.
Once again, foiled by my lack of being able to
Oh,
tell colors.
sorry.
My rods and cones.
Rods and cones.
Yeah, that's a cool helmet. I mean, they use that other one with the trident or whatever,
Right.
the fork.
Yeah.
But I
No,
think
that's
they-
more of their old school tradition.
I know, but that's the one they should be using. I mean, I think that's the best
Yeah,
one of the whole
snarky.
bunch.
Running with the
Unique,
pitchfork.
Cool color.
Mm-hmm.
I like
Okay.
it. Those are the Pat Tillman era.
All right, here we go. Third one. They may get a little tougher.
It's got a pony on it.
Yeah. Ohio State, I guess. That looks like
No,
Ohio
but it
State.
had a horse galloping on the
did.
side.
Oh.
The Birmingham Stallions.
Oops.
No,
the Mule Riders.
No, it's the Tampa
it's,
team.
Memphis
the
Showboats.
Renegade, the Tampa Bandits. The
there you
Bandits.
go.
The Orlando
Cato.
Storm. Okay.
Tampa Bay Bandits.
There we go.
Man.
What a franchise they had.
They were just rocking here. And
like
that's
that.
another cool helmet. That and the Stallions, I think, were the 2 best helmets of the USFL.
Anything with a horse, usually good.
Good. How about another one?
Yeah.
Let's roll it. Oh boy.
Okay. This looks like maybe an arena football league.
Okay,
No.
let's go.
Football. College football. Let's go.
Cincinnati
No.
Bearcats?
Bowling Green.
Oh, it's the
Oregon State.
Beavs.
Who?
The Beavers.
There you go.
The Beavs? That's close enough.
So there you go, Oregon State. I like their helmets too.
Leave it to Beavs.
Yeah, man.
That Beaver's got some fierce molars. No,
I feel like it's
incisors.
progressing too quickly. We're giving it away. I think we need to be able to deliberate.
I think we need to pause on that second frame. Would be
Yeah.
ideal.
Well,
Really?
Yeah.
yeah.
I see, I did it, and it was
Yeah,
too.
it's already. It's okay.
It's okay.
All right, next time. Next flipping your lids. How about the last one?
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go New York Giants or SMU maybe. That's the American Conference. No, that's AFC. So Denver Broncos.
Denver.
Good job,
You
guys.
got to have the big D. There it is.
It does. It really the coloring. I mean that looked like it was red to me, but
Did
it's
it?
but
It's
until
probably
you
our
see the
monitors
D.
out here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. My rods and cones. Is that contagious?
I hope not, or else you're going to be blind by the end of the show. But see, another good horse logo. You got to have the horse. It makes a helmet.
I love that version of the.
That's
Denver
the one they
Broncos.
should wear all the time.
I think
it
so
really
too.
should.
And I think the Dolphins should go back to their old logo too.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's kind
I
of like
agree
a
100%.
sans serif font there.
Is it?
I don't know.
I was going to go Times New Roman.
Oh, okay. Of course.
I
you
don't know.
would.
It's kind of like our D here. Not far away from
Yeah.
that.
Can we put a horse in there?
A real one. We want a live one.
Hey, get eye on that.
Hey, I will. I
right.
will next time.
That was
Flipping your
fun.
lid,
okay?
ladies and gentlemen. Flipping your lid.
I like tweak it. Don't flip through the screen so fast.
Is there a way we could just see the animation again? Just
Yeah, one
can
more
see-
time.
watch
yeah.
that one more time.
Yeah, here we go.
Order in the machine.
And-
Oh yeah.
Oh, there we
Oh,
go.
our lids.
This has been Flipping Your Lid right here on the No Off Days podcast.
With your hosts Scott and Chris.
I love it. Yeah. I want this segment, even if it's a totally different game. I just want to see this animation run again. Very good. All right,
guys.
thanks, BK.
Hey, thanks a lot.
Appreciate it. Fun game. And if you guys have ideas for games, feel free to. Brian does not accept email. You have to handwrite a letter to his home address, and I will provide that link at the bottom of the show. Much thanks to our guest this week, Kevin Kiermaier and Brett McMurphy from On3 Sports. Good stuff this week, talking a little bit of baseball, college football, NFL, and much thanks to our NODPOD crew. We got Rochelle over there on the jib. We got Chris on the ones and twos for BK in the booth. And Cato, I'm Scott. Until next time we're on, there are no off days. Hey, have a safe trip to Columbia.
I can't wait for that smoked pot.
Make sure it's Columbia, Missouri, and not.
There are 20 Columbias in the United States.
well.